Alright guys, this is going to be a different video than the one I normally make, going over some kind of pharmacology or bodybuilding in general. It's going to be something totally different, allegedly. Allegedly totally different. In fact, the purpose behind this video for you, the viewer, the onlooker, the alleged viewer of my YouTube, is that I want you to thrive in your career. Ultimately, the more people that we can have self-employed owning small businesses, the greater that the business world becomes, and the world in general. I believe the economy thrives off small businesses, not large ones. And if I can get more people to start their own businesses, which there's a lot of you out there that have insane potential to do this, you would easily thrive in life for the rest of your life. Now, it's not easy. I won't bullshit you. It's not easy, but I have basically what I would have done as a career guide right here in this video. What I would have done, right? My opinion, allegedly. And who this video is specifically for is not everybody. No. This is for my bros. This is for people who are taking androgens. This is people who are already in the process of bodybuilding, competing, and or coaching online right now. And I'm no savant in business, my folks. I do enjoy business. I do enjoy real estate, investing, all of those good things. I enjoy making money, not because I like having money, but because it's ultimately a fun process to me. It's very similar to bodybuilding, very similar, where you put in more, and as long as you're able to put in more, the output is usually also more. And that becomes an addicting cycle for a guy who's interested in progress. So here's the premise. I know a lot of bodybuilders who are extremely great athletes, could have very successful careers, but they simply cannot find support. They don't have enough money to make it in the West, and they simply don't fit in the society that is the Western society. So for you, my friend, I've made this video as a step-by-step career guide. And if I could rewind, this is exactly what I would do, in my opinion. It's not professional advice, just something for you to put on YouTube while you're pinning your gear later on today. Let's break it down in steps. The first step is you have to make money online. In 2024, it is relatively a quick process to make a legible income online doing something. It doesn't have to be coaching, you guys. It could be literally anything. And of course, the quickness isn't a conjunction to easiness. In fact, the quickness is scaled by how hard you're willing to work to do the thing, and honestly, you have to work your ass off. But there's so many options: graphic designing, copywriters, script writers, coding, web page design, graphic design, Instagram page management, Discord moderator management. Yes, of course, coaching, but there's also coaching assistants. You could also be the virtual assistant in a coaching company. You could make your own YouTube by posting a video a day, and hopefully that garners you some income. You could start your own private community. You could do a lot of different things within the online space or the e-commerce space to make a ton of money. I don't want to tell you what to do, but seriously, it's not a void community. People are like, oh, it's an oversaturated market. No, like, this is the world. This is what's happening. Almost every massive business is moving to a completely online model. I mean, just look at Netflix. This is a multi-billion-dollar business, and while it's failing right now, but that's just more so because of the content they're putting out, it's still wildly successful. More money than you or I are making, or anybody watching this video, probably all combined. You can find millions of things to do online and make a damn good income. It's just that the pre-frame is you have to work extremely hard at whatever it is. Now, once you've found what you'd like to do and you are willing to put your work into this thing, get to a point where you're able to make about $4,000 USD per month, which, let's just say you're editing videos for someone on YouTube. The average rate for an editor is, let's say I send a guy a 40-minute video. He trims it down to 20 minutes. And he charges me $17 for each of those minutes. That's a fair price. Now, if we're aiming to make 4K per month in USD, what you would need to do is essentially edit 16 15-minute long videos a month, which, to be completely fair, there's a lot more expensive editors out there. This is sort of mid-tier to even lower tier editors. That amount of editing won't take you but literally a couple hours a week. Anyways, once you've developed that type of income, you need to buy a one-way ticket to some Eastern Asian country. Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, the Philippines, Indonesia at large, Bali. Now, the second thing is, if you're really smart, you're going to have already started to market your services in the US. US. Of course, if you do this, your services can't be shit, because there is a lot of people marketing their services in the US, especially foreigners marketing their stuff in the US all day long, every day, and probably doing it at a much, much, much greater frequency than you. They're hungry. They need the money. You probably are a little bit comfortable right now, let's be honest, and you don't want to move towards that less than comfortable lifestyle. But the thing about all those people who are coming into the United States trying to make money online is that most of their stuff is marketing, interplay with the actual United States commerce, large, because they don't even understand English. So it's really important to attack this market with whatever you're doing with a high degree of professionalism. But the reason that this market is so important is because USD is a very strong currency compared to all the other currencies in the world. And not necessarily because of its value, more so because of its widespread availability. I can spend USD in other countries without being slammed with massive conversion rate charges. And you'll be able to live like a rich man in these countries where in America or Canada, you would be a poor man. Now, I'm not saying other currencies won't work. I'm just saying USD is likely best. And from my experience working with a lot of different currencies, it seems to be the way that most people want to be paid in almost every country I've worked. Scratch that. In every country that I've had an employee, USD is the preferred payment method. All right, so here's another step in the process. When you're in the Western society, specifically the United States, other countries are generally fine most of the time. Pharmacology is not necessarily something that is looked up upon. In fact, I would argue that more people judge people who use steroids or other compounds in the United States, and specifically the law in the United States, compared to any other country. So one of the most beneficial things in these Eastern Asian countries is that steroids are legal. You can walk down to your pharmacy and get what you need directly from a pharmacy. You can then walk home with said product in your hand in the middle of the street and no one's going to look at you funny. And the best part yet is it's going to be so much cheaper. I just moved from Thailand for almost a year to Canada. I've never been to Canada before. I've been living in Thailand for the past year. I can't even comprehend how people are bodybuilding here with the prices of shit. It doesn't make sense. In comparison to Thailand, I can walk to my local pharmacy and grab all I need for the next month for $5. Doing this and implementing your pharmacology through these other countries is not just going to save you thousands of dollars. You're going to get better quality products because it's all pharmaceutical grade. If you're getting stuff that is pharmaceutically produced, obviously if you're venturing into the UGL components of things, the pharmacies are still going to have it, I'll be honest, but it's not going to be what you need. If you are getting pharmaceutical grade stuff, then you have everything that you need there in a Bayer formulation or whatever other company is making that product. As a third component, you're benefiting the society and culture that you're living in massively because you're circulating more income through what they have. Through that, they're able to elevate their living standards. All right, here's the next step. And this one's not one people like to hear, but it's very real. Being away from distractions such as friends, family, specifically ones that aren't good, right? I think family and friends can be very important, but it often leads to a situation where friends and family are taking advantage of a person's time without really giving back to that person's time. And in the end, the person's sort of just ball and chained in the lifestyle that they're in without really being able to smash the ceiling that they're under. Escaping this distraction dome or bubble is so productive and can lead to highly, highly effective blocks of work. Let's say you just moved to Thailand like I did for a year. The amount of shit I got done in Thailand was crazy because I didn't really have much else to do. The reality of it is while Thailand is great and things are cheap, I wasn't living there to go party every weekend. I was living there to get work done. I was living at a far, far reduced price. I was living in a place where I couldn't speak the local language. Now is a little bit different, but when I first moved there, absolutely not. Through those mechanisms, you have your computer, you have the content production, and you have your business and employees. Boom! You just saved yourself hours a day and now can reinvest those hours into yourself and then make more money. And even better yet, focus more on bodybuilding. Distractions enable comfort, lofty thoughts, reversals of hardening. And I know this stuff maybe doesn't sound super keen to someone who's interested in having a lot of fun, but trust me, like in your youthful years, the first 5 years of your 20, you really want to deposit time into working your ass off, because then in your late 20s you're going to have a small fortune that you can spend doing things like I've done for the past years, which is just like going wherever I want, living wherever I want, and just experiencing life, which is something people miss all the time. Okay, here's the next step. we're leveling up even more. At this point, you're likely making somewhere around 8 to 10K USD per month. You have enough money to invest in foreign real estate, which sounds like a sketchy venture to almost any accountant that you might work with. They're extremely wrong. Most of these countries actually incentivize buying into them through real estate or through commercial real estate. They will literally pay for you to be there and have a visa to stay there and manage your properties. Now, which kind of property that is might depend on the country and stuff. I'm not the guy to talk to. That's a real estate agent you're looking for. But the thing is, compared to, oh my God, compared to America or Canada, if I spent $100,000 USD, I would have a full house with 2 kitchens, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a driveway, a private security guard, and a pool. If I tried to spend $200,000 in the US, let's just say where I came from, which was Dallas, Texas, I'm not getting shit. I'm getting a single family Rambler that was built in the 1930s and doesn't even have central air conditioning. So you invest your money in that country, which is an investment, and you do make compounding gains on that investment, and then you rent that product out to Airbnb or privately just to a family just like yourself moving into a different country for a year or two. Now, one of the last thing, and this is sort of, I guess, applicable for some people, the Western society doesn't really see other people as anything other than just other people and numbers. Where in Eastern Asia societies, you get a lot of really tender care. And this is maybe something a lot of people would think of as contentious and, oh, it's just your experience because you're white in that country. No. Like, people really give a shit about what you have going on. In these countries, you and everyone around you is looked up to and admired to for certain traits and qualities. And being someone who is more muscular than the average individual, you're immediately seen as disciplined, well-maintained, and a mature human being. People want to talk to you. They want to offer their help. They approach you as an authority to get more answers about their problems. That might not sound like the biggest plus in the world, but in my mind, if you can find one way to live in a selfless capacity, you have found a true slice of happiness. The happiest that I've ever been in my life is when I'm able to provide myself in a selfless capacity to other people. When things start getting more selfish, sure, it's great for a moment in time, but the length of that moment in time is very fleeting, and man, you just wish you had some people around you instead of just having things around you. And as last bonus, if you don't have a woman already, Eastern Asia is great. And I'm not talking about just because I'm white. Eastern Asian women are highly respected. They're very conventional, and they are very, very motivated towards a family, not just hooking up, not just something that is peripheral and doesn't help you and doesn't actually aid in productivity at all, but starting a family, having loyalty, having discipline within the family. And the best part about it is if you are coming from overseas, a 5 literally turns into a 10. You become more attractive. If a, Brazilian comes to the United States, I think more guys look at her because she's Brazilian versus the other way around. I know I'm getting into like weird sexual preferences and stuff, but you get my point. All this to say, your goals as a bodybuilder should be, how can I live in the cheapest way humanly possible while still trying to achieve my bodybuilding goals? And then whilst doing that, it's how can I generate more and more income each and every single month to get to a point where I'm completely comfortable and I don't have to question the means to afford things that I genuinely need to even further progress my career. And the best route that I see that happening in is not in America, and it's not in Canada, and it's not in Australia, and it's not in the UK, England, all that shit. It is in Eastern Asian countries. It is in some European countries like Bosnia, Croatia, Serbia, Albania, Romania, but mostly Eastern Asia. You can live cheaper. You can benefit the society around you, because a lot of people think you take advantage of the society around you, but they kind of forget how economy works. And when you spend money with the economy that's localized around you, everyone benefits. And it just gives you so much drive to push forward towards more because you don't have silly distractions. You're not concerned about US politics. You're in your bubble. And when you're in your bubble, you can produce. So anyways, this is a needless video. I don't think you guys really give a shit. Allegedly, this is about your career. Take my word for it or don't. It's up to you. If you're going to try something like this, I'd recommend Thailand just because I've been there and, it's a great country and they do also support you very well as the community of other expats there. So it's just a lot of great stuff going on. No bad words about Viet either, or Laos or the Philippines. Also great places for someone looking to live abroad for a certain period of time, if not forever. Anyways, douches. This is the shittiest haircut I've ever seen in my life, by the way. Canada? Next video is educational, I promise.